Welcome to Flash Show, everybody. We are so excited to have you here on Flash Show. And we're also privileged to be joined by everybody here. You are equally important as we are sitting here. And today we are a group of Kingdom Wives of Massachusetts. I know that some of us, you've seen us, some of us, you know us, you've heard what we do. But today we want to still introduce ourselves to you so that you can get to know us more and who we are. We are a diverse group. And before we go any further, I will take this opportunity to give the ladies here to introduce themselves.
I'm Maria Dana Njenga, and yeah, I'm a TM here. I'm happy to be here. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophia Kasibante. I'm married to Mr. Kasibante Lewis. I'm a mother of 2 boys, Emmanuel and Eden. I'm a full-time minister of God and servant of God. I'm a businesswoman. And yeah, I'm so happy to have every one of you here. I hope you enjoy the show. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Linda Serada. I'm married to Joseph Serada. I'm a mother of 2 with 1 on the way. I'm a minister by calling, and I'm a businesswoman as well. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah, so I'm your very own Flavia Keshitakule, right? The host of Flash Show, Simbwa. I'm married, and just like you've heard, we are a diverse group. We have different professions. We are mothers, we are business ladies, we are servants of God. We are everything, right? And so today, we are so glad to have you once again. You are welcome. Kingdom Wives of Massachusetts, we talk about different aspects of life. We talk about things that impact us socially. We talk about things that impact us religiously. We talk about motherhood. We talk about business. We talk about the day-to-day things that we deal with and the things that we struggle with, healthy things, you know, all kind of stuff. We talk about all that. And the most important thing, and the one thing that really identifies us, is that we speak from experience. Because we are a diverse group, we are different. We have health professional, we have our business ladies, law enforcement. So we speak, and we are married, we are mothers, we have gone through all kind of situations that you people have gone through, or some you have experienced and others you have not experienced. So we speak from experience, okay, which is great. And today we have a very important topic that we want to share with you and with us. Today we are talking about some of those qualities, some of those things that you should consider, that you should look at as you choose your life partner. And this is remember, this is the person that you're gonna stay with for the rest of your life, right? So at this particular moment, we are speaking to people who are married and to the singles who are here or who are watching us, who will be watching us later. We are speaking to you. So what are those things that you have to identify in your life partner? This is the person that you will have to, you're dying, you're growing together forever, for better, for worse. So what are these things that you have to look at? So the floor is open to the ladies here. What could it be, Chala Selwada? What are those things that you really, I know we are married, that you looked into?
I had my own personal journey. Thank you so much for that question. I had my own personal journey before I met Joseph. I'm in ministry. I'm a worshiper in the choir. So by the time I met my husband, I was already on my own personal journey with Christ. So way back in my previous life, I wouldn't mind dating somebody out of the church. But as I grew closer to God, all those relationships never worked for whatever reason, for God reasons, right? And like we were at a meeting yesterday, a certain minister was praying for marriages, and she insisted that marriage is for purpose, right? So there was no way I could be equally yoked with another man.
Minister that was praying.
Hallelujah. So there was no way I could follow another man or submit to a man who was not in church, who didn't have a personal relationship with God. And yet alone I always wanted to be under a minister.
So are you telling us that when you're looking for the partner, number one on the list has to be a follower of Christ? Was it like number one on your list?
Yes, I didn't really have a list, but as a Christian, it goes. You cannot skip it. You can't. It's impossible to skip. A partner that is in Christ, that is the best person to be yoked with. The Bible tells us not to be equally yoked with non-believers. That marriage is going to be tested and it may not work. Of course, I can testify that there are marriages that are out there working, where people are not in the same religion. But to me, as a minister in Christ and the journey that I'd walked of failed relationships, there was no way I was going to marry a man that was not under God, who was not submitted under God. Yeah.
Well, then there was a challenge to, it could be, okay, different factors. Personally, I thought like, I was growing old. Age was catching up with me. So maybe whatever would come my way, I would like, okay, you know what? Let's go. There was that too, right? Yeah, okay. Let's go, because I mean, when you think about childbirth, when you think about, but anyways, one of the things that I looked at was, my husband is a yes person, like everything, yes, even to strangers, yes. It was good to me. I'm like, oh, he's a nice partner. He's a nice girl. He's a nice person. But at the same time, ngabi menya, because now everybody looking for help is coming to him. Oh, Mami Simba, I ride. Oh, Mami Simba, market basket. Oh, Mami Simba, baby seat. Oh, Mami Simba, this. And in a situation, in a circumstance that he cannot do it. He has already said yes, right? And I've got to do it, right? Or especially like the new people that had Abakaja. And you were a part of them, by the way. Yes. Yeah. And we used to pick you from somewhere there. I don't want to ride with him. It's like, oh, but I have to pick somebody to come here for choir rehearsals. But the quality, the one thing that I really considered is a yes man. So that means if you say, okay, the wallet, where is the wallet? We'll say, okay, Flavia, yes, the wallet is here, right? Yes. Yeah. So yeah.
I did not have a list. I didn't have the best examples of what kind of qualities of a man should have, because even if he was standing in front of me and had all the qualities, I would not even see him. But one thing I wanted was a man who loved me. And that is my husband. I did not care about religion. I did not care about the man, because my husband took a very long time without going to church. The Spirit of the Lord just dragged him after 7 years or 5 years. But I cared about somebody who loved me, because out of love, he would do anything for me. And that is what attracted me most to my husband. One thing as women we need to consider is, as women, I'm talking on the side of women, as you're choosing a life partner, I think you should find, you should find a man who loves you. Because love is going to cover everything. A man who loves you is going to take care of you. He's going to want to provide for you. He's going to, out of love, he will do certain things for you. But if you're on the side whereby, we are going to grow into it, and I know sometimes love is grown into, but as a woman, for a man to even try to chase you, he must love you. Because we find ourselves in a relationship where women, we are the chasers. You ask him, hey, babe, can you do this for me? And he's like, no, you're paying the bills, you're taking care of everything, because now you are the chaser instead of you being chased. I'm a soft life ambassador. I bless God for that. And that has come out of my husband he was always willing to give me the soft life, even when we had nothing. Because as women, we're supposed to be pampered. We're supposed to be taken care of. We're supposed to be treated a certain way. So for me, love was the ultimate everything. If a man loves you, everything will change. If a man loves you, everything will be like, everything is work. Like you have a ground to work to work for something.
That somebody loves you like at the onset before like you engage, before you go into coaching?
Yes.
Is it easy to...
It's easy because it says from, this is one thing about people who surrounded me. They always said, oh, Sophie, that is not your type. That is not the type of husband you go for, right? Because, you know, we play around too much. But like, there is something that I was seeing in this man that was different from the other guys I dated. This man would wear shoes, would take off his shoes for me to wear, and he would walk on feet just to make sure that I'm wearing shoes. That is a sign that a person loves you. The sacrifice, the willing to give themselves away. So you can tell, if you have to seek so much if a guy loves you, that is already a red flag. If you have to search so deep, does he love me? You are there. And there is, as Christians, I think there is that thing whereby God is going to give you a partner, and sometimes he's not the type you would want to have.
Some of the relationships where, like you said, people grow into love in a way that people are not looking at the love, like first love. People could look at, okay, what is this person's background? Avawa, bamuzalawa, right? What is, and I feel that this is what we should do. Go back, look at this, the background of Flavia. What is the family background? Bamuzalawa, you never know, you can get married into a family. How are you going to handle it? You might not see it in a man, but if you go behind and you dig deep into the background of the person, you'll be like, okay, maybe, yes.
What is it important for you to have a good background, yet you don't treat me right? What's the importance of a background? No, you can be born from a kingdom or whatever, like the Buganda kingdom, and you don't treat me right. That doesn't work for me.
But if you know, going into the background, you will understand that this person was born into a totally broken background, totally dysfunctional family. Then it will reveal reveal much. Like maybe this person has never been loved. So that means that I will never find love.
That is a choice. My husband comes from a family. His mom died when he was so young. He took care of himself till university, hustling, taking care of himself. If there is a dysfunctional family that you can meet, my husband was born from one. But when you're a good person, naturally, and you love somebody, you will choose to treat them right. He's from a very dysfunctional background. But I could see, despite of that, he chose to do right, to treat me right. That is what attracted me to him. So we need to stop giving men excuses. Oh, he's treating me like this because maybe he was beat when he was young, so he's going to beat me as well. No. Choose to do the right thing even when you are born from a dysfunctional background. You're going to be like, okay, we never cooked at home, so that's why I don't cook for you, because I wasn't taught how to cook. Choose to do the right thing. Get the skills. Learn, find out why you need to, what your husband needs, or how a girl needs to be treated, how you express love, and then learn to do it. There are some things that you're going to learn on the way. But a good person is a good person, even from a nasty background, even from a person who wants to work hard and take care of you. They will do their best, even though things do not. So me, I did not see a man who is going to give me the world. I saw a man who's willing to make effort despite of the background. So a background is not important to me if you're not going to treat me right. So that's the thing. When I just moved in, when I just met my husband, I was still fornicating by then. Don't do it. But like we were sleeping on a mattress that is, a twin mattress? Yeah. That's what we were sleeping on. But he was treating me right. He was treating me right. So despite of the background, let us stop this generational trauma of people suffering in marriages because it was a bad background. Choose to do right. Period.
But wait. Let me just to add something what you said. I remember when I was in premarital counseling with my fiancé at the time. my counselor, then Pastor Ken, asked us, like, what are the things that you're scared of entering this marriage? I was in my own single life with my child, like you all know, Ariella. So I told Pastor Ken that I don't look forward to cooking for this man every day. And it was a serious issue. There was no way I was seeing myself cooking every day like he's a Muganda man. He's a prince. I was like, I'm not going to be the Muganda girl, because I didn't see it that way. So I was saying, me, that's my deal breaker. That's my deal breaker. That's my deal breaker. And all these things just have to, you know, when you enter marriage, like she said, when you really love somebody. And Pastor Muchala Musumba, when Pastor Sonia, when she came to my bridal shower, she said, when you love somebody, there are things that are not hard for you anymore to do.
That's right.
If you're picking up the socks after him, cleaning after him, cooking for him, just because you love this man, all these hard things that you've been seeing that have been hard for you to do, they're going to become easy. And I'm telling you, I love cooking. You can wake me up. I can cook. I can air fry things. I'm learning how to bake. But it comes with love, like she said. So if I didn't love the man, trust me, I wouldn't be that willing to cook.
And you guys, feel free to interject if you have something to add on or ask. Feel free to put up your hand and...
Maybe I do have something.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the speakers said that the reason why she loved the husband is because the husband was so loving, was providing, was doing everything that she saw that is right to be done by a husband or somebody to be a husband. But I remember when I was a youth and I was growing up, if I wanted a girl, I want the young girls to learn from this. If I wanted a girl, I could do anything. Anything. You can tell me, kiss the ground, I'll kiss it. Yeah. I buy me a car, even though I'm on a bicycle. I'll say yes, I'll buy you a car. Yeah, and I'll do what it takes. But sometimes don't take that for granted that I'm a nice person.
That's why we see some marriages that are not working, like people get into marriage and they don't last because the man is just providing just to have you, to have your body, but it's not like...
That is the thing. Like I said, I was fornicating by that time, right? I dated this man for 5 years, right? But let me tell you something. You will see a man, you don't even need to be spiritually awoken. You will see the consistency. You are going to provide me. You're going to say that I'm going to provide you. I'm going to provide for you. I'm going to do this for you. But the fruit, if you do not mean what you're doing and you're just trying to be after a certain something, after you receive it, you are going to change. Yeah, you are going to change. You will no longer be consistent.
I've heard on social media how Ugandan men are now doing it. Like these rich guys, they will get a lady, rent them in the high-end, high-class end. For you, a very nice house, get you a very nice car, very nice house for 4 months, right? And they are providing everything, and you feel like, yes, now we are there, this is the man. Towards the 4th month, they disappear. They are nowhere. But this is the man that has been really consistent. And for you, you're saying, oh, I'm loved. He's providing. And that's not love. That's not love, because this man will run away. So, I mean, like, to me, love should not be like the first thing to look at. There are other things that I really look at than love. For you, it worked. It worked. But I mean, like, this is the man that you had stayed with like for forever, right? But to somebody, it might not work.
So what do you consider? What do you consider, like, picking a partner? What did you consider that actually worked for you before you got into the relationship?
Well, I was in a lousy relationship before I met my man, and but I think he considered me before I considered him, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, and along the way, like I said, he was a yes man. I considered that he was. I looked at Oh, wait.
Partly with love.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Well, he loved me. Yeah, he loved me. So but seriously, to me, it was not love. Like, it was not love. It was him as a humble man. As he was a person who was ready to marry. Like, he was a person, like, he was ready. He could have loved me, but even that, like, he was ready, because he came to me and said, Flavia, I love you and I want us to get married. It's not about dating and what and what. This is it. But I want to tweak this thing a little bit. Like, we are talking about what are we, as us here, what are we looking for? But what is it that we are as individuals? Do we even take time to look at ourselves? Huh? Because there are those habits that we should also look at in ourselves, that to be cool, we kill them before we go out there.
She didn't. You were telling us what you considered. What you considered before getting Mr. Simba.
Being the last one, you've shared the little nuggets of what I wanted to say. But there are like three things. I didn't have a long list. The first one, I wanted a God-fearing man. The second one, I wanted someone who loved me more than I love him, which is kind of mean, but that's what I wanted at that time. Because I just didn't want to start pulling someone to the altar, someone to engage me, someone to do this. So I wanted him to want me more than I want him. Him to want me as a helper than he needing me, like me needing him. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And then another thing that I had previously experienced in my other relationship, the person I was dating had a child, and it didn't sit well with me. In the first place, it was okay, but then later on, when you get to grow and you see this person is not going to ever get out of your life, that's the baby mama, and then everything, I was like, Lord, I really love this person, but then I wasn't ready to carry on what they have, and that was going to be a decision for me towards him. So when I came to this country, I told God, I think it's when I made up my mind to let that relationship go, I told God, the next man I'm supposed to get married to should not have a child, because I don't want to be mean. Naturally, I love kids because I have kids. I wasn't a kids person before.
But you too.
Don't lie about it. I'm not those people who be like,
Let me babysit your child.
that type. But I'm just now I love kids because I have I have my own.
Yes.
And now I just didn't want to fake it.
Yeah.
Carrying on someone with a child into a relationship with me, and I'm not ready to be a mother to this child. Not from a mean perspective, but I couldn't handle. I can't. Even my own kids, I'm a tough mother. So imagine you have to carry on someone that I didn't carry. I just didn't want to be mean to that child and this man. So I told God, now that this person is out of my life, I would like someone who has no kids. I remember the first time I met Paul, I saw the profile picture of him and the two girls. They are his hosts. They are like family, but they are not related, but the hosts. So the picture was him and the two girls in the middle. I said, Jesus, again, I'm going to I'm not ready. I don't want to take on this responsibility when I'm not going to wear the shoes so well. I don't want to walk tilting on heels and I fall down and break there. I wouldn't be a stepmother that is bad, but I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? And this is a long time decision. It's after all the lovey-dovey, the bubbles and everything is gone, reality kicks in and these children are not going to live our lives. So yes, and yeah, I remember asking him, "Are those your kids?" He said, "No, those are my nieces. You'll meet them someday." I said, "Okay." Now we, now we can talk more. And like I said, it was not like from a mean perspective, but I wanted to be genuine as much as I could.
Yeah, and actually, you brought up a very important point. Let it be the first thing. Do you have kids? Because this business of oh yeah, okay, I will take you on, and your target is trying to separate the man from the mother and from the kids. No, it doesn't look good. Let me tell you, if you're in this nation and you do that, baja kusibira bwerere, because your aim would be to separate the dad from the kids, and you begin harassing the kids and stuff like that. Baja kusiba tena ebisumuluzo babisuule. So please, just be on point. Do you have kids? Yes. If it is a deal breaker, bye. Okay. So yeah, we have somebody with a question here.
Hi everyone. I want to add on what she said. I kind of disagree with what Mrs. I agree, but at the same time disagree what you said, Mrs. Kaswante, and kind of agree with what he said. Because sometimes it's not about the love. Because as she said that there are men in Uganda who rent an apartment. I have an experience with that. I just talked to someone yesterday because at the beginning of the month she told me, I'm going to tell you I'm getting married soon. And this is a young girl who's under 30. And I didn't know about the boyfriend and everything. But he said, this guy loves me so much. I'm like, let me know because I have put time off so that I come for your wedding. I cannot miss your wedding. And then so I talked to her. I asked her, so how is it going? She tells me, well, let me tell you, this guy has 2 kids. I'm like, okay, yeah. So I'm like, 2 kids, okay. I decided to hold my reply right there. And she said, the lady, they separated like 4 years ago. I'm like, okay. And she said, if I get married to this, she told the guy, when she heard that the guy is getting married, she said, she's gonna bewitch him until when he ties his impala na miguu with ropes, and she's also gonna make her miserable in her marriage. I'm like, well, you see, consider yourself being loved so much by God because He warned you before you even got into that relationship, because you saw this guy loves you so much, but this guy is somebody's husband. She says they built that house together. So that means even though they've been separated for 4 years, they're getting back at any one moment. You never know. So the God you seek, thank that God you seek, because you got to know way before you got into a serious relationship. I know you might be loving this guy so much, but consider yourself so lucky that God has warned you. Look for somebody who's different, who doesn't have kids, who God has brought for you. I'm older than you. I got married 7 years ago, but got my kid after at 7 years. So it doesn't matter. For you're still very young, you can still have a chance to get a right man, and you've not even given birth.
And that's exactly what we talked about, like digging deep into somebody's background.
When you're to me, when I'm seeking for somebody, I consider, is he a man of God? Does he have that personal relationship with God? So just you showing me love. Let me tell you, before I met my husband, some guy told me, Trudy, I just saw that God is showing you that you're gonna be my wife. And if you say yes, I'm gonna pass this exam. I was in my medical school. And I, you know what I told the person? God does not give you stone when you ask for bread. The size of the man that I wanted, you're not that height. And the second thing, I'll pray for you so that you don't die. I mean, you don't fail that exam. But the third thing is, are you sure it is love or it is your lust for me? There are two things. There is love and there is lust. You were lucky you were with Mr. Kasibante for some time. But these kids, all these girls who are coming in, they have not been with this guy. You're gonna date for let's say a year, but you don't know this guy still. You may not know. You may think it is love, but when it is lust, they're just yearning for that one thing. The moment you open up your zip, pooh,
Chitufu.
Can I add on?
As they are transferring the microphone, she wants to add on something.
Me, I just to add on what Mr. Escasmante said, it's the consistency in marriage. It's the consistency, like how we all do things in the first place. That was not it. You were lying, but the consistency, the, the consistency that, like she said, the husband does, is what has driven her all this far. I remember she keeps on telling, she told me one day that the husband never used to have money. He was broke, but he used to buy Dunkin' Donuts. So that is the
And bring it to my house where I was renting every morning, but dear.
So it's more of those Ugandan girls, they give all those flashy things. It's temporary. But if someone provides for, they don't have to be
Right.
a lot of expensive things. Someone can buy you Dunkin' Donut every day, but the consistency of every day versus taking you to the most expensive hotel once a year. You know what I mean? It's the consistency that I think does the drive than.
I think another important thing that we should also look at is the financial status of this person. Because let me tell you, finances are really one of the topmost factors that have broken up marriages. Let me tell you, you see this man driving the Porsche cars, changing the lifestyles, flying here and here. You don't know how this man is getting the money, the income. Dig deep into that. Actually, here in America, they say, first ask what is your credit score, right? Yes, ask you what is the credit score. Then from that, you can know. I mean, like we are talking this, we are saying this. We want you guys like to learn. If you're already into marriage and you have done mistakes, there was a way you can maneuver around. But if you are still single and you've not gotten into this, there was a way. What is your credit score? What is your income? Where are you getting all this money that you're living as a way life? Where is it? Where are you getting this money? Dig deep into that.
No, but this is what I feel. This is what I feel. I don't want us to consider getting life partners depending on things like, it's good to consider the credit score, but there are things that you can work on.
yes.
Even as, because right now, I met my husband 1 month or 2 after I'd come here. So if he was going to ask me about my credit score, what would I give him? I didn't even have a social. I don't want us to consider life partners, right? According to things that are changeable. Things like finances. Like, and don't get me wrong, me saying that my husband took care of me when we just met, he wasn't rich. He wasn't doing good, but like I said, the small things, like when I get $10, I'm gonna go buy you Dunkin' Donuts for $2, and I'm gonna keep the 8. So it's not about how much a guy will treat you right. A guy will treat you right even when he has $10 in the. Let me tell you something. One thing that spooked me off one day.